The plumber's face changed before he even spoke. One moment he was calm, sliding the camera deeper into the dark throat of the drain. The next, the color drained out of him as if something had reached up from the pipe and taken it. He tapped the screen, once, twice. Then he looked at me, slowly, like he was afraid of what he might say. "Who uses this shower?" he whispered. "My wife," I answered, though suddenly the word felt unfamiliar in my mouth. He swallowed hard. "Sir, you need to leave. I'm serious." He turned the monitor toward me, and just like that, my heartbeat changed. A small metal object sat deep in the curve of the pipe, wedged between hair, grime, and two things that looked too much like fibers torn from clothing. I didn't breathe. I just stared, because I recognized it instantly. And in that moment, my world didn't break. It didn't shatter. It simply shifted, quietly, coldly, into something I could no longer pretend to ignore. So I drove straight to my parents' house, and by the time the engine cooled, I had already decided I wasn't going back to her. Not until I knew everything. Not until I understood why that ring, a man's ring, was hidden in the drain of my shower. The betrayal didn't hit all at once. It arrived in quiet fragments. The late-night work calls, the sudden need for privacy, the way she started locking her phone again, though she swore she had nothing to hide. At first, I told myself it was stress. She'd been distracted, distant. She laughed less, touched me less, talked less. But I didn't see it, not until the plumber placed that monitor in my hands. He apologized as if it were his fault, but I barely heard him. Because her voice, her soft, practiced voice, kept replaying in my mind. "You know I'd never lie to you." But lies are quiet. They live in the small spaces between breaths, and hers had been collecting for months. I acted normal, too normal. She didn't notice the shift in me when I went home the next afternoon. She didn't notice how I watched her move, how I counted each smile she forced. She didn't notice anything. Silent investigation becomes easier when the truth is already whispering in your ear. Phone records, receipts, car mileage, a strange name on a bank statement, a message she deleted but not fast enough. Every detail was a thread. I pulled gently, carefully, until the entire fabric of her life began to unravel in my hands. And I never raised my voice, not once. Rage is loud, control is silent. The truth arrived on a Tuesday. A background check, a license plate search, a DNA test, because some suspicions cut deeper than pride. Each result landed the same way, cold, precise, undeniable. The man she'd been seeing wasn't just some stranger. He had been in our house, in our bathroom, in our shower. The ring wasn't lost. It wasn't an accident. It was a mark, a reminder, a piece of him lodged in the one place I trusted the most. I printed everything, every screenshot, every record, every line of truth she had tried to bury. Then, I waited at the kitchen table, calm as winter. She walked in, smiling the kind of smile she used when she wanted something. I slid the folder toward her. "Read." She opened it. The blood drained from her face almost instantly, just like the plumber's. She whispered my name, voice shaking. I didn't respond. Page after page, her hands trembling, tears forming but never fully falling. "Please, I can explain." "I know you can," I said, cold, controlled. Liars always can. She broke, collapsed into the chair across from me. But I didn't move, didn't reach for her, didn't soften. "Who is he?" I asked. She said nothing. Silence is the closest thing to honesty a liar ever gives. I stood, collected the folder, and walked to the doorway. She followed, desperate, reaching for my arm like she deserved to touch me. "Please don't leave." "You made choices," I corrected, "and so am I." Her voice cracked as I closed the door behind me, but no sound reached me, Not really. I was already gone. People think closure feels warm, a release, relief. They're wrong. Closure is cold, sharp, precise. It's the moment you finally see a person without the lens of hope, without excuses, without love blurring the edges. It's clarity, and clarity has no temperature. When I filed for divorce, the pen didn't shake in my hand. It felt steady, clean, final. Some drains clog slowly, piece by piece, until the truth has nowhere left to hide. So does a marriage, and when it finally backs up, you see everything, even what you never wanted to.